Hi guys, welcome back to Rybrook TV and welcome to a very, very special day because today we have the keys for the brand new 2022 Range Rover. But before we jump behind the wheel and take it for a drive, let's just recap some of the exterior differences on this new model. We'll start at the front end. The common theme, which you'll hear me say quite a lot with this car, especially with the design, is it looks very similar to the Range Rover that came before, just smoother and a little bit more sculpted and well designed. So we've got a slightly different grille on the front here, and they've also made this new sort of effect down here. So all of the parking sensors, the cameras and so on, are all built in to this bit here, so they're really well hidden. It's just a crisper, cleaner design all round. Along the side, it's just so regal and majestic, isn't it? We've still got these little veins down here, which is a signature to the Range Rover. Another really cool little feature is in most cars, you've got a plastic strip that goes along here where the window meets the door. Not so with the new Range Rover. It just falls away into the bodywork, and that is an incredible bit of architecture there on the car. The door handles sit flush with the bodywork until you unlock the car, and then they pop out. And even just opening that just feels lovely. The click as you open the door feels fantastic. As you move along, I also love this little extra bit of sculpture down here on the rear bumper. I think it just adds to the whole effect of this car. It just looks, well, looks fantastic. But the big changes have happened around the rear. You have the new hidden until lit rear tail lights, which are this really gorgeous glowing effect. And then the indicators, where are they? There they are. They're hidden in the back in this strip by Range Rover. I think that's a really cool addition. It just looks really crisp and clean and regal and beautiful and just lovely back here. But if you want to see more of the interior and exterior of the new Range Rover, please use the link in the top of the screen to check out our full in-depth walk around of the car. But now is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's get behind the steering wheel and take this car for a drive. So here we are at the driver's seat of the brand new Range Rover. And well, Range Rover has been at the forefront of the SUV market for around 50 years now. It's always set the benchmark for those that are chasing in its shadow. It's always been the top dog. And when a new one comes out, it's always awaited with bated breath because it is the benchmark that everybody else adheres to. So before we talk too much about the drive, I just need to touch on how gorgeous this interior is. Now, I'm not going to say too much because I've already done a full walk around video of this car where I looked at the exterior and interior, so please use the link in the top of the screen if you want to go and see that. But my first impressions when jumping into this car are that it's just gorgeous in here. It's absolutely glorious. The feel of every single material in this car is just of the highest possible quality. It feels like quite an expensive yacht, I think. The leather that you've got everywhere, on the doors, on the roof, on the seats, is so supple, so soft, and so sumptuous, and so beautifully comfortable to sit on. It's wonderful. And I'm not normally a fan of wood in cars, but I will say the wood trim in here, it's so beautiful that I would definitely specify this car with wood. And then the technology. We've got the floating display directly in front of me, which is really crisp, really clear. You've got the maps in there and you can control different elements of the car on there too. And then you've got the floating infotainment screen, which is running the new Pivi Pro system. You can also get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all that stuff as well. But yeah, the interior of this car is glorious. So let's move on to the drive. The car that I'm in today is the P530, the big boy, with the 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8. And yes, you guessed it, 530 horsepower. We've got 750 Newton meters of torque, which means that this Range Rover, this very large Range Rover, can go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 4.4 seconds. Well, what does that look like in a car like this? Let's drop it into sport gearbox that is, and then it's not the usual thump in the back that you get from V8s. It's more of a sophisticated surge of power and of torque. It just pushes you along with real grace and real elegance. It doesn't feel like it's really trying to tear your face off. It just picks up its feet and just says, yes, of course, sir. Let's get into the shift. But really, really quickly, before I tell you about some of the technology on this car, I need to talk to you about powertrains. Of course, we've got this, the V8, which I'm in now. You can also get two diesel engines, a D300 and a D350. There's also a P400, and of course, very, very soon, in 2023, there is a full PHEV version of this car. And even further to that, in 2024, there's going to be an all-electric version of this car. And I can only imagine how quiet that car is going to be. And that leads me nicely onto the technology, because this car has some of the most advanced noise cancellation technology I've ever seen. It means that this car is actually quieter on the road than a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. How incredible is that? And part of that is the noise cancellation, which actually, you can see the headrest behind me. It actually uses the speakers to make the car quieter. And this car is serene. It is possibly the most quiet car I've ever been in. I mean, I'm talking quite loud because I get quite excited when driving new cars. I don't need to. I can literally whisper to you and you can still hear me. We're going 50 miles an hour now. And I can whisper to you. How incredible is that? You can whisper to your passengers at 50 miles an hour. It's absolutely fantastic. And the other big thing with this car is the all-wheel steer. Range Rover, of course, is a big car. There's no getting away from that. But thanks to the rear-wheel steer, which can turn at up to 7 degrees, just get that into 7 degrees of steering angle on the rear axle, which actually means that this Range Rover has a smaller turning circle than the original Mini. Another really cool thing, Range Rover is now available with Amazon Alexa integration, which basically means you can tell your car to do stuff. So say, for example, it's been a hard day in the office, your wife texts you, you forgot the milk. All you need to do is ask Alexa, I need to get some milk. And the car will program into the satellite navigation to take you to the shops. It's incredible. But now, how do I feel in this car? How does this car make me feel to drive? What's it really like? I didn't really know what to think of this car. I obviously like my sporty, fast, aggressive machines. But this car has impressed me beyond words. It is probably the most comfortable car I've ever driven. I can't believe I'm saying that. And the driving position is absolutely superb. You've got such a great view out over everything. The armrests just mean that it's the most comfortable, quiet, serene place there is. I mean, you could drive hundreds, if not thousands of miles in this car in incredible comfort. The seats are exceptional. You sink into them. They're heated, they're ventilated. You've got massage seats. You've got a plethora of technologies in this car to make the journey the most comfortable that it can possibly be. And it succeeds beyond anything I ever thought that this car would. The other great thing about Range Rover is that alongside all of this incredible luxury and refinement, you know that this car will be exceptional off-road. It can tow up to 3.5 tons as well. So this car can not only soothe you over long distances, it can tow, it can go off-road. And when we talk about that, we can't show you that today. However, we are going to try very hard in the future to get to one of the Land Rover experiences, off-road experiences, to drive one of these cars off-road. And of course, if we make that happen, we will be filming it and we will bring it to you guys on the channel. So let's just wrap up Range Rover really quickly. What do I think of it? Well, it's exceeded my expectations and then some more, because it is so much better than I ever thought it was going to be. It's incredibly refined. that V8 up front is fantastic as well. When you really want to, it can get a shift on, but not in an antisocial way. It does everything in its own way so incredibly well. And even when you get to a corner, the 48-volt anti-roll system in the back actually keeps it incredibly flat through the corners. It's fabulous. But I'm completely in love with it. I'm kind of running out of things to say and compliments for it, because it deserves everything. I've been waiting to drive this car for such a long time, and I'm so happy to say it has not disappointed. It is still the absolute pinnacle of the SUVs. So, what are my final thoughts on the brand new Range Rover? Well, I'm kind of running out of words to be able to describe it. Opulent, regal, majestic, all words that really describe this new Range Rover. It really is the king of the SUVs. For any more details on the new Range Rover, please use the link in the description of this video to contact the guys at Rybrook Land Rover. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys next time.